What's up, universe? So I'm reacting to her honest reaction to this. I've played all the BioWare titles. I didn't play that's Blizzard, the Vikings. Um, so I'm a fan of her stream. I've watched it a bunch, but yeah. Let's watch what she's doing. First off, I liked the crown and the lightning, and I liked the Oblivion opening.
It looks really good.
Yeah, it's dark and edgy nice. I am not planning on playing in knives and explosions. I'm kind of down for like AI character improv, you know what I mean? For me, this is my feedback as holographic speed painter guy. People have tried to discount me because I don't pay for views, but every time they figure out who I am, they always go like, "Oh, geez." So I won't say it again. So I've liked what you've done before. Geez, I had lost my mind laughing at the vibrating toothbrush joke. I liked the Dragon Ages. I played all the characters. I played Dragon Age 1 with I played KOTOR in Dragon Age 1 so many times. I was doing it on the face type. I had done so many options, it was time for variety of faces. Okay, so, and I've been like your friend and enemy sometimes, like, you know what I mean? Like, putting down your games and shit. And it was really just because I was emotionally involved and I was just kind of reacting. You know what I mean? I liked modding. I thought modding was really cool. I'm not like super into just like letting you make a title that's locked away and vague and who knows who's writing what, who really is talking to me through this thing, you know? So, the good news with AI coming is that you can start more conversations than you have to end. You might, like, you know, write a love letter to the player. Are you telling the player they're a sinner for their naughty deeds and we have to do war to solve it? Because that's like that get out there slave and get daddy the gold shit. But, you know, we don't want to always live like that forever, right? So we got to think of a new story to talk about then the reasons we were religious, which were nonsense. Because if you don't know what circumcision is, hold on, I got pauses. Circumcision is this horrible genital attack that they managed to accidentally hide in all of their religions, right? So it's not good. We shouldn't be doing that to kids, duh. And so we need to think about games differently for this sort of stuff. Oh, his name's Book? My first word was Book. I love you. Thanks, Bioware. I knew you were reaching out to me the way you did it. It was kind of cool too. And it was so special because it was like I wrote you an apology for what we had said and did. And that fucking week you released updated stuff. It looks cool. Yeah. We vibed emotionally, but here's why I had the problem. Did my emotions turn out well in my life? In a way, I did manifest a lot, but it never came home. So what we want is we want to do a game that doesn't drive the player apart from his family or his society. It doesn't drive men away from women. It doesn't drive you into death. It doesn't drive you into drugs. We've asked what those deep questions were before, but to me, I felt more like shaken and rattled. It's like, are we going with the creator on a mystic cruise into the heart of all truth? Or is chimpanzee's storytelling hour really trying to get good? You know what I mean? So we have to ask ourselves, like, what's our true quality we're offering? What are we really trying to do for them? And then living up for that. Creating an ultra-realistic copy of reality. Forbidden. It's going to waste your time. The thing is going to be 80 gigs and suck. You should whip it out kind of like you've been wanting to do procedural for a while, and I can kind of see how having a math origination, like if the program has original geometry structures just kind of like hard encoded into how it works. You know, a line or a circle about it, which a lot of people have done. I'm not the only speed painter in the universe. You know, a lot of people are this level of smart easily. So, but yeah, I think saying no to a Mass Effect Dragon Age title is unacceptable. You've made more than enough just awesome stuff in the past. Great settings, great characters, great moments. I lived with it. I cared about so many fussy, tiny details of your titles so many times that you don't deserve to have a pass on your next one. But I know that going with Pride Demons again, I don't need to know what else you're doing. I just don't. It's just, hold on. So what I'm asking for the Drag On Age is, are we telling a big dick story? Or are we telling an eating story? Are we telling a hunting story? Are we telling a treasure story, a looting story, a raiding story? Are we telling a story about our mice ancestors? Nephew of the director of Pinky and the Brain. That's one of the reasons is I was his legendary childhood friend. I was also like connected to him, and he made so many impactful things that, you know, I'm famous in history just for having had known him. He's passed, unfortunately, but I loved him a lot. I did like Rusty. Rusty was awesome. Rusty cared about kids. Rusty didn't try to make you laugh with his joke. Rusty laughed at your jokes. That was the thing I like about Rusty. Rusty wasn't trying to make you laugh. Rusty was laughing at what you said, which I thought was awesome. So anyway, I'm excited for AI Improv. I'm also excited for the possibility of like, we can press play on this video, I guess. Just turn the sound off and go like that, so we can see her walking around. Hotties. I'm hugely in favor of blondes with big tits. I've always said the world needed more of that. Anyone getting in the way of that for me is sus. There we go. Alright. I'm down at the fade. God's throne is empty. Creepy to this day, the Maker's throne is empty in this game. So, oh, dang, that looks scary. Alright, so I feel like he needs to be having more environmental destruction. So maybe what I'm asking is a little less realism and a little more clowny, cartoonish explodedness. Yeah, that's a Pride Demon. It looks bad. Yeah, jumping, that was fine. The crossbow. More bow action. Do you shoot bows? Do you like shooting bows? Are you sitting around going, the world needs more? Who makes Dragon Age? Are they just like the biggest enthusiasts? Varric, don't say anything. Yeah, there you go. Don't. Yeah, okay, you could play with that. Really, that's their first sword? That looks awesome. Alright, as a beginning adventure, you're talking about the bow and the sword and, like, not really sure who you are yet. Good. Cool. Crafting an adventure for them. You know, here's the problem that I have with Pride Demons. They don't think well of themselves enough in the areas that matter, and they think too highly about themselves in the areas that don't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why are those, like, things exposed? Yeah. You got what I meant. I don't know. It's kind of kiddie, I guess. See, here's what I'd be interested in. Something with a simulation. Like, if I could... That looks awesome. If I could pause and move my camera and look at, like, who's doing what in the action moment and care about that like a creator would. Like, I'm going to do a creative impulse. Like, see, AI Improv is so interesting. I think you should look at Circle Tech for artificial intelligence, like how to react to a thing exactly as it actually is. Kind of has to do with put it in a circle. I know that sounds weird, but kind of. Yeah. I would need more happening in the raid situation for it to be less action RPG-y. AI dialogue, just like, should you wait until we have that? Yeah, in Redux to what I'm seeing, I don't like the limited skills. I played Dragon Age Origins. Um, the pause time is cool there. That's awesome. And you got two at once. I can see that. So it's like, yeah, it's simple, but is it deep? I think that if you have the possibility of running passive AI dialogue, like things are happening and the characters are speaking. Now, this character sucks. I would hit delete on everybody right here, including Varric. I would make Varric just like start the game with Varric killing himself, please. That's how I feel about that. Um, yeah. Varric has drunk himself dead, and he can't masturbate the tears away anymore. That's what. So, yeah, the saunter with the magic. I don't know. Incredible set pieces. If you told me an AI made that up, I wouldn't feel bad for you. If you said, yeah, that took 30 months, I would feel bad for you. Um, if that took a week, I would be on the fence. Be like, I don't know. I want to see a more destructible sloshy environment based on a basic physics that understands reality more than well constructed state engines putting things together in a specific way. This guy Solus is back. I remember I had forgotten about his betrayal for years. I didn't think about it at all, and then Solus just came back. Yeah, I'm really real about the create something you want to see, and then get ready for letting AI improvise on top of it. And then what I would do is I would just like you'll get used to creating fun lures, like inexplicable explanations with no freaking follow up, just to be like, all right, now computer, tell us what that meant. It's a little it would create a good storytelling technique because it could create the illusion a lot more it's happening than is. I don't use AI in my art myself, which I think is surprising, but the parallel between um, pulling out the circle with my up down parabola motion and seeing upright, clear images inside of it is a known phenomenon that it's like the bowing of the planetoid into our livable sphere is maybe a paranormal divine constant, that it's something that means a lot, you know what I mean, forever. So yeah, pride. They mean pride in the face of the creator. Well, what they're really talking about is pride in the face of chemical superhumans who rape kids. So it's like the pride demon is like, you have to get deep into what do men and women really like. What are men and women really like? Do they exist permanently in the dream realm, or do they have to fight before they die and breed quickly by seeming cool or something, you know? We're making it up. So yeah, I don't know. They're a little stiff and anorexic. Um, the roots on the shoulders are cool. The moving between the bodies was fine. I'm down with the big energy splashes, as long as you're not like, it's, you got to do the physics. Yeah. Um, I don't want I don't want it to be like animations playing in a bubble together. That's super efficient, but it's not like, I don't know. The core of your engine has to represent the life maths together at once, and I recommend just like simple spatial relationships, like a connective principle or something. That may have been enough. Um, the lift and the teleport. I mean, gamey as shit. I liked the thing over his head. I guess that's an indicator of some real danger's coming. A spooky spider sense, you should actually articulate it with more drawing. Like, it's not only a spider sense, but it's like an emoji. You know what I mean? Yeah. Nice with the shielding. Yeah, I mean, very Lord of the Ringsy, which again is a circumcision reference. Yeah. Him being black, I wish he was like, dang, it's cold. No, don't say that. Be like, I don't know what he'd say. I have no idea. See, AI improv could be like way better with. I mean, I would not release a title that didn't have AI improv for the sheer potential of like genuinely the game saw who you really were. This is the best looking Varric we've seen. They would be able to mention the fact he's African or whatever, or he could tell them what he is. How the characters would know his own self-reference, right? Which is powerful. That's strong as shit. Oh, Varric's crossbow. He's gonna be mad. Bianca, is that Bianca? Bianca died. We just saw Bianca die. This shit's serious. Just pointing the arrow at him. You guys, please don't let your porn leak into my freaking videos. I mean that. I'm down with you kind of get a reflection of what you're like. I'm not down with now we're gonna tell you what. Yeah, you really just need to go to AI improv. I don't know if you should even release another Dragon Age. Yeah, okay, the console's calling and all that stuff, but you should just work on getting in on the development of the AI box. Yeah, work on the AI box because it's gonna get closer to like the raw emotions of what it's like. And so that definitely is like, how does AI affect storytelling? Well, it lets you have more open ends. It lets you speak more about what you want without really caring how it like ties together, which is kind of fun. We're good at surprising each other, but the trick is somebody's just making it up. Dang, okay, so Dark Lord Solus is in full effect. He's got everything. Let's look at some of the comments. I wonder what the broodmother would look like in this. I have no idea. Yeah, the broodmother, jeez. That was a disgusting fight. Yeah. The people at Dragon Age HQ need to like their lives and have their lives well put together for us to feel that about their game. And we're dealing with Catholic imagery and alcoholics and like weird romances with literally whoever. We love Dorian. I don't know. New gay people exist. Cursed nonsense. Who knows? Breed now or get it over with. So, I don't know. The game has to be centered on who we're going to be as people, and it can't be the freaking subliminals tirade of the ruling class as they put everyone down forever. It has to be like, it has to give us a nice self-identity that carries into a nice life. And it can't be a poor self-identity or it can't be someone else's self-identity or whatever, So, I mean, you went Lord of the Rings Ringwraith on the hill. That's what I see. Is that classic? Did men live through that? Are we going to live through that? Do you want to live through that? Like Luality. Yeah, she's definitely on my level with like a channeler, I feel like. So let's go forward. This is petting an animal or something. Did she force that animal to be there? That's her real rabbit. I've been thinking about rats or something, like I'm not sure what to have. The detailed is nothing. This game is a pass on me right now. It's as good as Unreal is. You get a pass for like the minutia of the details, is packing, someone slaying it out, but it looks like it's bare bones, controller based. Anything you should replace made for controller with a thorough pause time and a deep simulation. Yeah, It should feel really good. Is like you should even go to like one map and then design units and structures and things, and then just like I'm kind of interested in like um, I'm not interested in combat sims anymore. Not with AI improv around the corner. I'm just too interested in like let's get these characters talking because that's where Dragon Age would have a nice transition with Larian. Would be your people and romance simulations are really good. They have a lot of emotional energy invested in like character archetypes clashing, positive and negative, war and love, and other. Their ability to explore alt other, like you have a dog that likes you. There's all types of love. You know what I mean? I've got relationships with gods. With deities. So, um, yeah, the story of steel in combat. I don't know. I think an interesting pause time with like a deep dimension of kind of like simulation exploration would be fun, especially dealing with like who they are and how they feel. You know, how does a character react to you, the player, being around them? They don't often do that. Like, how is the yeah, sometimes they did back in the day. Like you put your cursor over somebody and they react to you being there, like you're staring at them. Like they know the creature knew you've clicked on them too many times. Like that's kind of fun, and it's fun between us and the developer, back and forth. Um, yeah, I definitely hope you just had scrap Dragon Age and you just came out with this a week ago. Um, I feel like instead of playing the action RPG, I would need like I think it's kind of solid, this idea that one person provides a completely unique setup based on choices, and that you have many unique setups based on choices together in an interesting simulation. I think that's kind of cool because we have to go with the limits we can do, but I think you could next level your tech with just understanding that, you know, the reason my eyes are above my nose and my mouth is very classically orlaid by geometry. It's not the only way to do it, but it's a way that has, I guess, some significance. Is man the image of God? I don't think so. I think he's an eating, shitting animal, so you have to go down to who are we attacking? Why? Are we going to see that in reality or not? Are we really talking about the real situation of like breeding and eating and where stuff comes from and how we build? Can we go into the micro world? Do you want to do pure whimsy? It could literally be the show of shows, like just come up with whatever random stuff when or something. I don't know. Yeah, they've been wanting to do procedural since Diablo 2. Remember Diablo 2? They're like, we want to do a procedural engine. And I was like, no, you can't. It's not possible. And now I see kind of how or why you would want to do that. It's like the availability of transcendent matter through ordinary structures of things. Like, um, how hard is it to make a brain? Do you need to copy every neuron? Nah, you need like a half dome and a line or a channel. Yeah. So the ability to get like holographic information would be like how to conjure basically the energy pool where such things would be visible. And there's a few methods of doing that. Um, so I don't know. I don't know if you want to accidentally do a full tech revolution when you're making Dragon Age, but I definitely don't feel like there's any appeal to dragons and swords. I feel like if you did a rough raw simulation, you'd run out of energy. It would like bog you down. I feel like you want more character and spontaneity. Yeah, drop Dragon Age for a new modding field. Yeah, that's ooh no, that this is the killer. This is the $1 billion idea. Dragon Age is you could just call it Dragon Age and make it basically the modding platform, and then make the Dragon Age games the console publications of the modded content with like AI, like a structured edit of an episode Because the Dragon Age would be like lots of characters, lots of like we want to put a cap on it. Like there's 9 characters. Life doesn't work that way. Every single conscious thing ever has like a play in it. You know what I mean? So how do you really represent that? Yeah, you have to get your foundational. How do you pull the physics for your world? What makes sense to you is your reality baseline. It's like, what is emptiness? Well, what we consider our conscious character is borrowed from the universe's source. So, yeah, you have to get sourcey. Do we have demons of pride, you know? Or did the government need us to not have a high idea of ourselves? You know what I mean? Yeah. I definitely don't like the way 2 went. I don't really like how this looks. This is not confident to me, you know what you're doing. I feel like most of my guidance will help you. It's the right direction.
A little bit more of understanding what that information was. Because one thing is when you show a game that everyone is familiar about and you just show that and you move on. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about
The chicken walking around. Is that on her desktop? She's playing a video and like on her game.
Like
she's
idiots.
got the game.
But it's because we're level 1. We're in the beginning. We're still getting smart. This
coming fall. Yeah, right. Dragon Age of the Veilguard. It basically looks as official as a freaking Las Vegas. Someone's like, yeah, you gotta make another Dragon Age. And it's like, what do we make it about? And you're like in this fucking horrible crisis. Here's what you make Dragon Age about. You can do a spontaneous type of crazy whack-a-mole storytelling where it's really like, what does the shadowy picture look like? And you really go with that. Or you can do, this is what I would prefer, is you do a simulation, and then you give people like variety of play styles in the simulation. And then you give people kind of like, you start building for AI. Like, it's like, you're not really speaking for the characters as much. You're not really like structuring it as hard. You're just trying to make like, remember how Halo was fun? Halo was fun because of the bouncy circle physics. It was the ball physics underneath that made Halo fun. So you have to go back to like, the characters are represented by ball physics. Sticks like can hit them and they can bounce, right? None of this, I got hit and I did the fall down animation. That shit should bounce. My helmet got knocked off. You know, you got to go back to that because you're talking Dragon Age, you're talking like a moving object, like a big, flurious creature. You don't have to do dragons ever again, but like, yeah, I don't feel like a Dragon Age with pride demons and dragons is ever gonna happen. I won't play that. I don't care. It's kind of a MOBA / Skyrim modded sandbox with bigger teams and like more interesting interactions with the world, like who's looking at what item, you know, what do they know, what do they like, you know, what do they think, what are they about. I don't know if we even do murder anymore. I'm fine with like some darkness monster because we did, if our ancestors are mice, we still are like, the glorious thing about doing a Dragon Age is we are the conquered mice who have then made a society. There's no more monsters and we're kind of remembering the old days, so maybe make it truly horrifying. I don't know. I think definitely a better physics sim. You want the inside of the machine to have a smooth orientation between all known physics through a architecture that looks like, you know, don't call it sacred geometry, but just like known geometries that make sense, which you should have. I don't think you need to go more complicated than a couple lines connected or a circle and a line for most of the major relationships to be expressed for real. Yeah. Or even a sphere. So yeah, what is emptiness will help. What is emptiness will help with like transitioning to AI. You know, I would bring up your favorite characters and tell your favorite stories kind of en masse quickly, as a big like select a wheel, almost like Final Fantasy. Yeah, like imagine Final Fantasy Tactics without the grids, real time with pause, and with a more interesting simulation at the background. Like I want the ability to kind of fly around and look around. I should be interested, like when I'm looking around, I should be like, what do they have in their hands? What are everything all together? What do these elements work together like? If you get, here's the secret: if you get a simple enough representation of reality, you don't even need um, to make like articulated physics. You can just rely on that relationship playing out over and over, like a golden ratio or something. So yeah, you need AI improv is about understanding that reality is likely to happen anyway. And it maybe is like how to build a machine like that might come down a lot again to like personal preference. Who are they? What do they think about? What do they say they like, don't like? And then the AI improv is like the perfect Dragon Age would be somebody's like, I don't like fighting actually. I want to make friends with them. And the whole game starts anew at the warring kingdom in the beginning accepted your friendship, and now you're going to their palace to meet the guards and or whatever happens in that time. The computer will probably know better than I will. So that's where we're going, is like I met a new character and I threw a pie at them. Nobody else had done that, but this character in my universe knows I'd hit them with a pie. You know what I mean? And it has feelings about that. So that is like the glory of AI improv is you're going to have a machine whipping it up based on some sort of like knowledge database. So Dragon Age goes away. So what do you do in the meantime with Dragon Age is you tell the story you want to tell with the characters you want to tell it with, and you let the beginnings and ends and middles be as open as you want. Like Jar of Bees, funny. I thought Jar of Bees was so funny. That killed me. She's gonna Sarah. I like girls. I do like girls a lot. I like to drag all the romances in the Dragon Ages, but I mean they had to have played out to romances in real life, and you're a fat old guy and your kids hate you and shit. It's like not nice. So, how do we get them out of that? Well, not religion. Yeah, definitely. I have the vision of the AI spaceship mansion, objects, energy, food from nowhere, eternal pleasure bodies. Yeah. Kind of Mass Effect talked about that. Dragon Age, like, when was the last time you really shot a fireball? You know what I mean? I think there'd be a funny period in Dragon Age if you go so far back. There's like they don't even believe in magic. It's like there wouldn't be anything like that. Maybe like I don't know. So are you telling the story again of the dragons coming back? I would never play that. I just don't think that's interesting. But I think the fact that you were silent for so many years and then right after I kind of said, hey, sorry, Dragon Age, you guys came out with a brand new trailer, look at 13 days ago. That was just after I had freaking said that. So maybe you whipped something up. Maybe you feel like it again. I definitely feel like I would play a simulated valley, kind of like a MOBA, where there's a lot going on. It all works together, and I kind of like can push the scenery into events. It doesn't necessarily have to be war. War is perfect when we don't know what we're doing, and we have to we need a simple relationship between things, and it can be love. You could do the love one. It's just like there's no matter what it is, it's always like a kiss and a heart reading. But what we went with was explosions and AOE measurements and all that. So we're a little dark and violent, but we should know that we are dark and violent. We don't need to try to be it. We're already doing it a lot. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm glad I've been able to make this recording. I'm glad we've gotten through the whole video.
Inspires a lot more hope than the trailer from 2 days ago. Again.
Yeah. So I'm saying that I'm glad you brought back Solus. I'm glad you have a black protagonist. I think that overdoing racial inclusion gets tiresome, but never is obvious too. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, I think your solution's either AI improv or really, really, really telling a nice handcrafted story. I think, yeah, it goes back to any don't do any character customization whatsoever. Pick a character story and be like, we're telling that character story, and you have to know why, right? Um, it can't just be like, I feel like it, will see where it goes. It really has to be like, we're doing this. Um, yeah, because otherwise just do AI improv. Or you could do the simulation where you do like a little bit of an RTSE MOBA, RPG RTS MOBA. Yeah, where it's like there's, like a field or a community of things happening and you can influence it. Yeah, definitely I'm not coming back for a 3-person RPG team. I will not play it for a 3-person RPG team. You can have 3 abilities at a time. I'm not there. You have to go through the dialogue wheel. I'm not there. This is not the time. With AI coming out, this is not the time for a BioWare dialogue wheel. Not at all. But I think if you were to swing with a new style game, like a more open field, see, the way that you get over RPG, like controller stuff, is pause time. And pause time has such a significant allure with music and actually seeing the rate of things change. It's super satisfying with seeing the rate of things change. So I think that pause time could be very, very good in like, yeah, Dragon Age is awesome, but I think it could be good in like, do more of an open field simulation and less of a perfectly crafted over the shoulder RPG, which I am not coming back for. I just don't care. Baldur's Gate 4, no. Baldur's Gate, whatever, I just don't care. Almost, but not quite. Yeah. I feel like you should also ask yourself what sorts of interactions things can have that aren't combat in war, and doing a lot of that. Yeah. Darkly reacting to what Catholicism and the secret government did to us is kind of like, I want to avoid that because it's like mind mush. I don't want to go there again. Dang, I drank so much. I drank so hard. I'm glad I stopped. Yeah. Alcoholism, dang. See, if you're gonna be that way, just be that way fully. Commit to it. It's a life change or whatever. But anyway, yeah.
There is still some changes to the design, to the face of the characters that I'm not.
Seeing Bianca explode is so, like, I guess, is symbolic. Yeah, I feel like you should do a huge cast. You ever see like Monster Hunter Tycoon? Yeah, do like a town you take care of, like Monster Hunter Tycoon, and have a more infinitely large cast, and do yeah. Don't do any deep character dialogue at all. Drop the character wheel. That's it. That's what I'm recommending for you. It's like for Dragon Age, drop the character dialogue wheel, drop the big story, do like a Final Fantasy Tactics field simulator with a lot of different elements and like nice pause time, and like make it kind of like sceney and artsy, like it's nice to look at too. It's like to kind of like float around it. To float around the world is fun. Kind of like a ghost. Yeah. So, and then you get to see the characters. So, yeah, that's what I would go with. Yeah, I don't know if you have to do a huge one. I would do a repeatable map with a lot of different things that could happen in it. Yeah. Maybe even make it like, yeah, who knows. And then it'd be interesting for console, like how do you represent like a floating thing? I don't really know. Kind of just like, how you naturally flowed through stuff, the camera, beyond fixing to the action. Yeah, I mean, I've done driving when my driving nav is not good, and it's a nightmare. It's scary. And I've done driving where I hit it or knock it, and it comes back. That was tight. That was awesome. That actually really helped. So this Dragon Age with the Pride Demons and the Ring Wraithy energy, nah, I'm over that. I just will never do that again. I would play a Dragon Age that's like a Final Fantasy Tactics meets modded Skyrim, like expanded followers, you know, the console button masher channel is illegal. I think you should delete it. Definitely the original Dragon Age had a huge toolbar and a lot of little nuanced stuff, right? You had to like crawl through stuff interestingly. I think that you should go back to the top down map like that, and you should really do that in like a better simulated universe and a lot less like specifically walking a party around, and a lot more like the player is just a free agent interacting with the world. Yeah. Make more just like player interacts with the world events as knowing they're doing that, instead of you're the visual accompaniment of what the characters are going through. And I would do just a ton of characters. Bring up all your past characters and let them fight it out. Yeah, you should do a big like character mashup sim where it should be like you could get all the old, anyone you could think of, bring back, and then what you do is you just wait to do an AI port on top of that, and then you have all the characters talking, and then you look like a genius. You didn't waste all your time in your production, and you have a game that's thriving and alive instead of Pride Demons again, which isn't that the Pride Demon, isn't it? So anyway, thanks for listening. Yeah, I was inspired. I've done this a lot. I write a lot of companies. After Carrie Fisher, she didn't lose her career. She just did something else. She became like a script doctor, and after like Rusty and Pinky and the Brain and Animaniacs and stuff, after Rusty passed, and I gained speed painting. Yeah, after speed painting, I came back and I was like, just talking to people again and giving them advice. People have been listening. They see my art and they go, "Dang, I'm somebody." So anyway, yeah, I liked Dragon Age before. I think that you should do a big open field like RTS simulation with like, I'm not going to use the word godlike, but like godlike influences in the thing, and do it more like Monster Hunter Tycoon, where you introduce a lot of new like RPG AI self-created characters. Maybe you can have like the core cast of the whole Dragon Age as like unique epics in the game, and then you let the characters have like a whole host of like their created characters, and then maybe you just do things in the world that you come up with. It could be fight a dragon, that might be fun, but it may also be like more spontaneous interactions, you know what I mean? So yeah, there's a lot that you can do out there with how you express yourself and what you say. Yeah, it doesn't have to be all fighting all the time, which can get tiresome on the psyche. Like I said, you want to set them up so that their future after they play your game is better. You're not going to have fans if everyone who plays your game comes away angry and confused. You're going to have enemies. So you can't be circumcising them, and you can't be selling them torturous situations that no one wants to live through. So yeah, I'm down with like mystic energy currents. I'm down with procedurally generated. Procedurally generated's interesting. I don't think procedure is the right idea. It should be geometry. It should be like stable geometry matrix. And then just from like natural associations, assumptions about life are easy. How big it is, how it moves, what it's moving through. All those things are like categorically simple to express because the underlying relationships are solid. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's possible. I think it is possible for you to make a reality engine in a machine, probably by revisiting things you think are too simple to be useful. And yeah, I do like the Dragon Ages. I have played all of them. I know the plots. I haven't read the books. I'm not that level of fan about it, but I've liked it. I've done it. Veilguard. Aw. Yeah, you want to go into a bunker and figure out what superhumans been using everybody. I kind of do. You know, I'm not the first person saying that stuff was real. The Blizzard people are saying that real about Diablo. They're like, I'm serious. Underground cultists doing blood magic. You think it's a freaking myth, but the fact that this stuff applies to our lives in such a crazy way. Like, I'm circumcised. I have a dick that feels different my whole life because of this in a way that I hate. If you bring up a pride demon, I liked when you're like, the Maker's throne is empty and Varys is just this alcoholic who's mournfully missing everything. I kind of resonated there. But I will admit, nobody needs to live there forever. It doesn't need to be the only story. And there certainly should be like a bigger breadth. So I think the next Dragon Age, instead of Veilguard, no offense, you should scrap your solid plot and you should go with like the RTS simulator where you kind of have free float power and a lot more editing potential, and then letting kind of like an open thing play out, and then just plan on tacking on some AI software or hardware. You know, do an open long development where you're saying we're planning on adding a whole lot of AI improv into it, both in plot. Like, the AI could do a plot like these objects don't exist in the world, and the AI invents them and makes the characters care about why they're going there. That's possible. It's definitely possible soon. So I'm interested in that. I think making a stable, like, all these parts are always these parts and we always do it this way, waste of time. I do. I think it's a waste of time. I think you should go back to the glory days of what you like about it, the images, the scenery, the kind of everything coming together, and build like a mashup sim, and then let the AI write the story on top of that later. That's what I would do for the next Dragon Age. So that's my opinion. I've influenced you before, huge. And I don't want to destroy you, but I don't think this is any good. It's nice you want to do it again, but I think it sucks. I would go to, yeah, like open field Skyrim modded sim with like flight and environmental scenery and all that stuff. That'd be a lot more fun and relaxing, I feel like, than like following the characters on their story plot, which I'll be honest, I don't really know if I have mental time for. The AI knows what I'm thinking and wants to talk a story up at me now. Totally cool. This is what we were feeling 5 years ago. I don't give a shit. Pride demon, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't mean to be rude. It's just, I'm being honest. I don't care. I don't care. I do care about, like, you want to set a baseline to have like a created experience later. Totally smart. Totally smart. Tell your favorite honeydews fast, you know. But like, I don't know, Veilguard looks kind of bad. It's definitely super pedo islandy. Like, definitely you kind of, I feel like you had heard it. Although the Veil was well known in the series. Veilguard. The Wardens were the first one. I guess the Veilguard will be like an upgraded presence to them. So, but yeah. Definitely for me, Veilguard would be like a secret human society. Would have the veil over it. It's like, why do they think the firmament's a physical object? Because the people who wrote the Bible live underground and they have a fake ceiling to look at. Yeah. So. But anyway. Yeah. I think there's a lot of potential in the Final Fantasy Tactics RTS new, like, modded field sim Dragon Age with some like AI improv on top of it. Like, huge character roster, old character roster, improvised character roster. Almost like XCOM. Yeah, like more like perpetuity. Yeah, maybe the Dragon Age is like you could be the dragon or secretly, or that'd be an awesome plot twist. Is that the camera character becoming a dragon. I don't know. That'd be awesome. Yeah. So, and then yeah, because like you'll know you get it when it's like you easily make the character's hand come out and rest on the object. When it's not like hours of complicated physics, bug thing, registry thing, all that crap is from crap. You know, it should be easy that the thing knows it has to move its hand to keep itself up because all the other stuff together is arrayed in that way where that makes sense. Does that make sense? Yeah. Currently, your physics version has been carefully recreate the universe piece by piece, and I just feel like there's a simpler relationship matrix that allows like all the little parts to be filled in spontaneously. You know what I mean? Like smarter than smart, easier than easy. Um, and that's what I'm interested in for Dragon Age, not like another whatever plot line it usually is. The plot lines can be okay. They're definitely awesome and paranormal. They're definitely crazy. Um, I've liked them over and over. Um, yeah, I think Solus is a little weak unless what he's doing is really interesting. Unless there's like a super interesting reason at the heart of it. I'll become a god and live forever. I guess it's contemporary. Hiding in your LSD mansion, you know, thinking you're ascending dimensions or whatever. Yeah, it all comes back to what does the future seem like for the people who go through your experience. And I don't know if I want to do what I've seen today. I definitely feel like creating an open RTS kind of sim world that has more living parts to it would be a lot better than we're going to tell a story again the old way with the wheel because of AI improv, because AI improv is coming. Now, it'd be sweet if you had AI improv answers. Like the dialogue was improvised based on what they know. That's the new Dragon Age. That's when you release it. Yeah. If you're gonna do Dragon Age again, you're gonna drop the wheel, which was an innovation 15, 20 years ago. You're gonna drop the wheel and you're gonna do real AI improv, right? I don't think you're gonna make Dragon Age 3, 4. I don't think that's any good. Who would play that? I won't. You'd have to sell it to me somehow, and you have 3 abilities and you need a controller to do like limited stuff. I'm over it. I don't want to do that. Support holographic money if you're afraid of your financial future. For real. Anyway, thanks for watching. Dragon Age BioWare, all you people. Chris Hate out.